Welcome to yet another tasting table for the 3-minute wine review. I'm here at Ebony, one of Bengaluru's oldest freestanding restaurants. When I moved to Bangalore many moons ago, Ebony is where I had my first meal. And I think to that extent, many Bangaloreans will have special memories associated with Ebony because this is a restaurant that has been around for the last 25 years. Like the city of Bangalore, Ebony too has evolved and today serves a fine selection of pan-Indian dishes. So we're in the heart of summer here in Bangalore, and so I thought it would be appropriate to take up white wines for this tasting table. So we begin with the Sula Riesling. We then move on to a wine that comes from Karnataka, from Hampi to be precise. We're going to taste the KRSMA Sauvignon Blanc. And our last wine for this table is a Reserve Chenin Blanc from Sula. So the first wine is the Sula Riesling. Cheers. This is the only Riesling that India produces. It's made in the German cabinet style.
First impressions really of the wine are very drinkable, beautiful summer notes.
This is a Riesling which also has some lovely inviting aromas. As you nose the glass and you nose the peach, there's a faint bit of citrus.
Taste on the palate makes it the perfect wine to drink with absolutely nothing to eat with, just a bottle that you can open, leave in the fridge, come home to and pour yourself a glass at any point.
The first sip that you have, and it starts with crisp green apples and citrus. Let it play around in your mouth. You're then getting the notes of passion fruit and the notes of banana and everything else.
And the moment you have the first sip, the way it kind of expands onto the palate with this kind of a rich, kind of a complex kind of a flavors, multiple flavors, it's kind of a pleasant.
I think this is representative of a very ripe Sauvignon Blanc. And yeah, I think this is a wine that you probably need someone to share with. Basically, a small fraction of this wine was aged in French oak. What do you think on the palate?
It's much less sweet. It can be drunk in copious quantities. Very fruity, mildly floral.
I think the color is interesting. It's got with the pale yellow, you see those green tints. On the nose, you definitely get the honey. I think on the palate, it's a wine where you taste the sugars.
It's much less, it's a lot less than any Chenin. Home alone, family and friends or loved ones, but at home, and group of people drinking outside.
I think the Reserve has enough sugar that helps carry the fat of the goat cheese. I think so it's a beautiful sort of a balance.
So I found, generally speaking, with all cheeses, the Riesling a bit not capable to sustain the wine, a bit dull actually.
For me, on the cheese board, I'd say the goat cheese with the Chenin Reserve, absolutely match made in heaven.
The Sula Chenin Blanc Reserve. We're talking about pairing that wine with food, and here the wine is beginning to come on its own. I mean, if that wine can hold to the pickled vegetables in that summer roll, it can pretty much hold to anything.
The only wine that kind of allows you to want to go back for a sip and go back for a bite is the Chenin Blanc.
the platter, the sheikh and the paneer, very lovely. But with the Sauvignon Blanc for me, very nice. With the Riesling also quite nice. But that kashundi, like you said, Krishna, with the gobi, really needed the Chenin. It just needed something to say, okay, I'm right here.
You know, when you look at something where 1 + 1 equals 11, I think that was the Harabara Kebab and the Chenin Blanc Reserve.
I will go with the most neutral one for everything, all the plates together, would be the Riesling for me.
That's the pairing.
Yeah, that's the ultimate.
Malai kebab and the Riesling.
I'm just trying it right here.
The roll with the Riesling, yeah, good enough.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
Kolmina kebab first. An easy, simple dish, an easy, simple wine. The Riesling. Match made in heaven.
If it is just the appam by itself and the Riesling, what it's doing is it is enhancing, it is introducing acidity in the Riesling. If you taste the appam and the stew, then you can feel the sweetness emerge in the Riesling.
Now it's Riesling all the way. It has to be. I feel like with the roti, with the paneer, the Riesling is just the lightest thing I could drink with it.
So the fish curry fits very well for me, calls very well the Riesling, and the Thai curry calls very well the Chenin.
All the way Chenin Blanc. All the way. It was just an absolutely beautiful pair. I remember talking about it in the beginning and saying the Chenin Blanc is really not my wine. But it has opened up the possibilities to be drunk with all sorts of food tonight. All sorts of flavors tonight. And I'm not joking, I have really changed my mind about that wine. Just tonight.
I wouldn't say it was a perfect pairing. The closest that I would come to would be the Japanese cheesecake and the mellow sweetness of the Riesling.
After you've had a long dinner and very late at night, you feel like dessert and you have this bit of cheesecake, and then I'll do that Sauvignon Blanc for sure. All in all, this has been an education, but more than anything, I think the experience has been a revelation a little bit of the type of wines we have in India that I may miss every single day because I think for whatever reason I shouldn't buy it, it's not doing so well, who drinks Sula anymore, Chenin not my thing. Tonight, Chenin could easily have been my thing. So thank you, Kripal. This evening has totally changed the way I look at Chenin Blanc for sure.
Finding that perfect wine which complements your food has always been a difficult task. It's almost been a difficult mission, like chasing the Holy Grail. Today was a revelation. A lot of myths that I had in my mind about certain wines and their aspects were busted.
It's quite amazing actually. I mean, the three wines we tasted tonight are kind of a very, very highly competitive with European or wherever the world is producing wine. So the matching with the food was a beautiful experience.
I think this is the third or the fourth tasting table that we're doing for the 3-minute wine review, and I think each table surprises me, astonishes me in terms of the possibilities that are placed before us on the table with regards to the kind of wines that we have. I think for a long time we have underestimated the quality of the wines that producers in India bring to the table, and I think this afternoon was a classic example of the strides that Indian winemakers have taken in the wine space over the last 3 or 5 years. I think experiences like these, a combination of wine and the brilliant food that our restaurants serve up, need to be encouraged and curated more and more.